There is a way to walk through life with your head high, your spirit steady, your heart at peace. Even while the world around you storms and shakes and trembles, there is a way to live so that no matter what is thrown at you, it cannot break you. You bend, but you do not break. You tremble, but you do not fall. You feel, but you are not ruled by what you feel. You may be hurting, but the hurt doesn't take hold of your joy. You may be discouraged, but discouragement does not dictate your direction. There is a strength, my friend, that comes not from the flesh, not from willpower, not from trying to fake it or pretend. It comes from something far deeper, far stronger, far more eternal. It comes from a quiet confidence that is not of this world. It is the kind of peace that passes understanding, a calm that confuses your enemies, a stillness that silences your critics. We live in a time when people are easily offended, easily shaken, easily angry. We live in an age of instant reaction, of emotional volatility, of people walking around like ticking time bombs, waiting for the wrong word, the wrong tone to set them off. We see it in our homes, our schools, our workplaces, even in the streets. People boiling inside, carrying offenses like their treasures, harboring grudges like sacred possessions, letting bitterness carve lines into their hearts and worry lines into their foreheads. We see men and women who look strong on the outside, dressed in power, walking in confidence, but one little thing, one criticism, one betrayal, one delay, and they crumble. They fall apart. They lash out. They withdraw. Why? Because they have not learned the secret of composure, the secret of stability, the secret of knowing who you are and whose you are, the secret of walking through the fire and not smelling like smoke. You see, to act as if nothing bothers you does not mean you are numb. It does not mean you don't feel pain or sadness or fear. It means you do not let it rule you. It means your peace is not dependent on people being nice to you. It means your joy is not based on circumstances going your way. It means your confidence does not crumble when others criticize you or misunderstand you. It means you have built your house on a rock, and though the wind blows and the storm rages, your house stands firm. There is a kind of power in silence. There is strength in restraint. There is wisdom in knowing when to speak and when to hold your tongue. Some of the most powerful things you'll ever say in life are the things you choose not to say. Some of the greatest victories you'll ever win are the battles you choose not to fight. There's a time to speak up, yes. A time to stand for truth. A time to draw the line. But there's also a time to walk away, a time to turn the other cheek, a time to let go and let God. When you learn to act as if nothing bothers you, you're not acting from pride, but from peace. You're not pretending you're preserving your soul, preserving your joy, preserving your energy for things that matter. How many people today waste their energy trying to change what they cannot change? How many lie awake at night replaying words spoken in anger? Conversations that should have gone differently, offenses that took root and now bear the bitter fruit of resentment. You were not made to carry that weight. You were not made to constantly explain yourself to people who don't want to understand. You were not made to fight every battle that comes your way. You were made to walk in peace. You were made to rest in truth. You were made to rise above the noise, not drown in it. When you act as if nothing bothers you, you are not denying reality. You are acknowledging a greater reality. You are saying, yes, I see the storm, but I also see the one who calms the storm. You are saying, yes, I heard the insult, but I also hear a still small voice reminding me of who I really am. You are saying, yes, I feel the pressure, but I know the one who holds the whole world in his hands, and he hasn't dropped me yet. You are not blind. You are not deaf. You are simply grounded in something deeper. You have roots that go down into something unshakable, and it shows. There's a dignity to peace. There's a beauty and grace under pressure. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more stillness. It doesn't need more outrage. It needs more calm. It doesn't need more people lashing out. It needs more people leaning into love, into compassion, into patience. When you learn to act as if nothing bothers you, you become an anchor for others. You become a light in the chaos. You become a safe harbor in the storm. You become a reflection of a greater calm, a greater love, a greater strength. Think of the people in your life who carry peace with them. They don't always talk the loudest, they're not always the most noticed. But when they walk in, the atmosphere changes. They have a presence that steadies others. They don't get pulled into every argument. They don't react to every slight. They know who they are. They know what matters. And because of that, they are free. Free from the tyranny of offense. Free from the need to prove themselves. Free from the constant battle to be liked, understood, or approved. That is true strength. You don't have to be loud to be strong. You don't have to win every debate to walk in victory. You don't have to clap back at every insult to be triumphant. Sometimes strength is in the stillness. Power is in the pause. Victory is in the silence. It's in the smile that says, "You didn't shake me." It's in the eyes that say, "I've been through too much to be bothered by this." It's in the walk that says, "I know where I'm going and I refuse to be distracted." But make no mistake, learning to act as if nothing bothers you is not easy. It's a discipline. It's a journey. It requires time and testing and trial. It requires you to learn the art of surrender. Your need to always be right, your desire to always be understood, your habit of responding in the flesh. It requires you to quiet the noise around you so you can hear the whisper within you. It requires you to train your mind to focus on what is eternal, not what is temporary. People's opinions, temporary. Delays and disappointments, temporary. Betrayals and broken promises, temporary. But peace is eternal. Joy, eternal. Purpose, eternal. Let them talk, let them walk away. Let them misunderstand. You have better things to do than explain yourself to people who have already made up their minds. You have a higher calling than settling scores. You have a bigger mission than trying to get back at those who hurt you. When you act as if nothing bothers you, you're not saying it doesn't matter. You're saying you've decided to rise above it. You've decided not to give it the power to dictate your mood, your day, your destiny. It takes maturity to overlook offense. It takes strength to stay calm under pressure. It takes wisdom to know when to engage and when to walk away. And it takes faith to believe that justice will come, that truth will prevail, that what's meant for harm will be turned to good. That's the secret, isn't it? It's not that nothing ever bothers you. It's that you've learned not to give it a seat at your table. You've learned not to let it in your heart. You've learned to shut the door on it before it can plant its seeds. And when you do that, when you live that way, people will notice. They may not understand it, but they will be drawn to it. They will ask you how you keep your peace when everything around you is falling apart. They will wonder how you stay so grounded, so calm, so confident. And you'll have the chance to point them towards something greater. You'll have the chance to say, "It's not me, it's the one who holds me." You'll have the chance to shine a light not on yourself, but on the source of your peace. So my friend, don't let the noise get to you. Don't let the critics rent space in your mind. Don't let the petty battles steal your strength. You were made for more. You were made to rise. You were made to walk through fire and come out refined, not burned. You were made to be an example of what it looks like to walk in peace in the midst of chaos. You were made to show the world that there is a better way. You are not what people say about you. You are not your worst day. You are not your past mistakes. You are not the insults thrown at you. You are not the doors that closed, the opportunities that slipped away, the betrayals that broke your heart. You are more than all of that. You are chosen. You are loved. You are purposed. And you are stronger than you know. So take a breath. Square your shoulders and keep walking. Let the storm rage. Let the critics howl. Let the lies swirl. You know the truth. You know your worth. You know your destination. And nothing, absolutely nothing, has the power to stop you unless you let it. Learn to act as if nothing bothers you. Not because you don't care, but because you've learned what really matters. Because you've found a peace that can't be shaken. Because you've anchored yourself to something eternal. And when you live that way, you don't just survive the storms. You become a lighthouse in the midst of them. A guide, a shelter, a living, breathing example of what it means to rise above. Would you like this formatted into a document or turned into a video script as well? You will find as you walk through this life that people will test you, not just once or twice, but again and again. They will poke at your patience, prod at your pride, stir your insecurities, and challenge your peace. If you're not grounded, if you're not anchored, you'll find yourself reacting instead of responding. You'll find yourself speaking when silence would have been wiser. You'll find yourself taking offense when you should have taken a breath. You'll find yourself wrapped up in battles that aren't yours to fight and carrying burdens you were never meant to bear. That's what happens when you let everything bother you. That's what happens when you live unguarded, untethered, unsettled. But it doesn't have to be that way. There is a higher road, a quieter strength, a sacred resolve that can't be disturbed by passing offenses. You can learn to walk through the crowds, through the insults, through the trials, and come out untouched. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Because your eyes are fixed on something greater, because you've set your heart on higher things, because you've chosen not to allow temporary discomforts to uproot eternal truths. Let the wind blow. Let the thunder roll. Let the storm clouds gather. When your soul is anchored, you can rest. And your trust is not in people, but in a higher power, you can smile through slander. When your worth is not in approval, but in purpose, you can stand tall even when others try to tear you down. That's what it means to act as if nothing bothers you. Not to be blind or numb, but to be rooted. Be so secure in the truth that the lies don't rattle you. To be so grounded in peace that panic cannot touch you. To be so wrapped in grace that bitterness cannot bind you. The world will not always understand this kind of composure. It confuses those who expect you to fight back. It frustrates those who want to draw you into their drama. It irritates those who feed off chaos and confusion. But you don't have to play by their rules. You don't have to lower yourself to their level. You don't have to justify your peace. Your calm is your power. Your silence is your strength. Your patience is your testimony. And every time you choose to walk away from petty offenses, every time you choose not to respond to provocation, every time you choose peace over pride, you are walking in victory. Do not be surprised when opposition rises. Do not be caught off guard when betrayal comes. Do not think it's strange when those closest to you disappoint you. These things will come. They are part of the path, but they do not have to break you. They do not have to rob you of your song. They do not have to define your destiny. Let others lose sleep over what doesn't matter. Let others gossip and complain and throw stones. You, my friend, were made for more. You were made to walk with dignity. You were made to endure hardship like a good soldier, not because you are cold or callous, but because you are focused. When you act as if nothing bothers you, you're not saying life is easy. You're not denying the weight of what you carry. You're simply declaring that your burden is not greater than your strength. You're declaring that no matter what comes your way, it cannot defeat you. It may delay you, but it won't destroy you. It may trouble you, but it won't triumph over you. You've come too far. You've overcome too much. You've survived storms that others didn't even see. And you're still standing, still breathing, still moving forward. There is a fire that no storm can put out. There is a light that no darkness can extinguish. And that light lives in you. That fire burns in you. You may feel tired. You may feel discouraged. You may even feel alone. But you are not without hope. You are not without purpose. You are not without power. And when you choose to act as if nothing bothers you, you're making a choice to walk in that power, to protect your peace, to preserve your purpose, to pursue your calling without distraction. The enemy doesn't have to destroy you to defeat you. He just has to distract you. He just has to get you so caught up in what people are saying, what people are doing, what people are thinking, that you forget what you were called to do. He just has to get you to waste your strength on arguments that don't matter, on feelings that don't last, on opinions that don't hold eternal weight. But you were made for more than that. You were made to keep your eyes forward, your hands steady, your heart pure. So stop giving power to things that don't deserve it. Stop letting petty people pull you out of character. Stop letting momentary offenses take up permanent residence in your mind. Stop rehearsing the hurt. Stop replaying the conversation. Let it go. Not because it didn't matter, but because you matter more. Your purpose matters more. Your peace matters more. Your future matters more. You have things to do. You have people to reach. You have a destiny to fulfill. And that destiny requires resilience. It requires wisdom. It requires the kind of strength that chooses stillness over shouting, grace over grudges, faith over fear. You cannot afford to be easily shaken. You cannot afford to be ruled by emotion. You cannot afford to be derailed by every delay, every detour rise above. You've got to set your mind on higher things. You've got to walk in the kind of peace that doesn't make sense but cannot be denied. That kind of peace is your inheritance. That kind of strength is your portion. It's not just for the few. It's not just for the gifted. It's for anyone who chooses it. It's for the one who decides, I will no longer be ruled by what people do to me. I will no longer be shaken by what they say about me. I will no longer let offenses occupy the space where my purpose belongs. When you make that decision, things will shift, not always around you, but within you. Your heart will get lighter, your steps will get firmer, your focus will sharpen, and people will see the change. They will wonder how you keep moving forward when others would have fallen apart. They will marvel at your calm when everything around you is chaotic. They will ask how you manage to stay kind in a world that is cruel. And you will have the opportunity to speak not from bitterness, not from pride, but from a place of peace. You will have the chance to be a witness, not just with your words, but with your walk. You will show by your very life that there is another way to live. A higher way, a better way. This is not about pretending. It's not about faking strength. It's not about suppressing emotions. It's about mastering them. It's about rising above them. It's about being so filled with purpose, so aware of who you are and what you carry, that you refuse to be controlled by temporary disruptions. Feel the pain, but don't dwell in it. Acknowledge the offense, but don't nurture it. Grieve the disappointment, but don't let it define you. You are more than your feelings. You are more than your circumstances. You are more than your critics. You are more than the season you're in. And when you realize that something powerful happens, you begin to walk lighter. You begin to speak with authority. You begin to stop reacting and start responding. You begin to carry yourself differently, not arrogantly, but confidently. You begin to understand that peace is not weakness, it's wisdom. That silence is not surrender, it's strategy. That self-control is not passivity, it's power. This is the way forward. This is how you rise. This is how you win. By refusing to let the enemy drag you into places where your peace cannot follow. By choosing stillness when everything in you wants to scream. By choosing love when everything in you wants revenge. By choosing trust when everything in you wants to control. It's not easy. It's not quick, but it's worth it. And you're not walking alone. You never have been. Even in your silent battles, you were seen. Even in your hidden pain, you were heard. Even in your quiet strength, you were guided. There is a power walking with you. There is a presence upholding you. There is a hand leading you, and that is why you can act as if nothing bothers you, not because you are upheld. There is a kind of strength this world cannot understand, a kind of grace that doesn't shout, a kind of fire that doesn't flare. It's not found in anger. It's not found in the loudest voice or the harshest tone. It's not in clenching fists or raised voices or tightly drawn lines in the sand. No, the strength that makes a person unshakable doesn't always wear armor or raise a sword. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it simply shows up in a smile that doesn't fade, in a heart that won't harden, in a spirit that refuses to be moved by the noise around it. People will test you. Circumstances will stretch you. Life will offer you plenty of reasons to be bitter, offended, reactive. You'll be misunderstood. You'll be overlooked. You'll be criticized for what you did and even more for what you didn't do. There will be times when the very people you stood by will turn their backs on you. There will be seasons where you will be left holding the pieces of something someone else broke. And in those moments, you'll feel the sting, you'll feel the pull, the temptation to respond, to lash out, to make your pain known. But that's when you must dig deeper. That's when you must remind yourself, you're not here to prove a point, you're here to fulfill a purpose. And purpose is rarely loud. It doesn't argue, it doesn't chase after applause, it doesn't swing wildly every time it's provoked. Purpose is patient, purpose is clear. Purpose knows when to speak and when to stay silent, when to engage and when to step aside. Acting as if nothing bothers you doesn't mean you've stopped caring. It means you've started choosing. choosing what deserves your attention, your energy, your heart. It means you've made peace more important than being right. It means you've learned to value your inner stability more than outward validation. It means you've stopped living for reaction and started living from revelation. And here's the beautiful truth. Not everything needs your reaction. Not every voice deserves your answer. Not every battle requires your sword. Some things are best left in the hands of the one who sees all, who knows all, who judges with justice and leads with love. Let him handle what your heart cannot. Let him settle what your soul should not carry. There is a rest that comes when you surrender, not in weakness, but in wisdom. Not in fear, but in faith. And you'll find that as you walk this way, people will change how they see you. They may not say it out loud. They may never give you the applause, but they'll respect your restraint. They'll feel the weight of your presence. They'll watch how you walk through fire without being burned, how you suffer without becoming bitter, how you endure without turning cold. And in that, you'll preach a sermon without saying a word. Because when you stop reacting to everything, you start reflecting something greater, something eternal, something powerful. You become an ambassador of peace in a world addicted to chaos. You become a vessel of calm in a culture obsessed with outrage. You become proof that still waters run deep. Let others be carried away by every wind of emotion. You stay grounded. Let others jump at every offense. You stay rooted. Let others shout to be heard. You stay still and let your life speak louder than your words. That's what it means to act as if nothing bothers you, not because you are empty of feeling, but because you are full of peace. The world will not teach you this. It will tell you to clap back, to defend yourself, to make your pain known, to retaliate quickly and loudly. But that road leads to more chaos, more pain, more regret. Anyone can react, but it takes strength to respond. It takes vision to rise above. It takes maturity to hold your peace when your pride wants to scream. That's where true power lies, in the pause, in the quiet. In the decision to choose what's eternal over what's emotional. Even those closest to you may not understand this way of living. They may call it weak. They may think you've let people walk over you. They may not grasp the wisdom in your silence, but you know better. You know that your silence isn't surrender, it's strategy. You know that your calm isn't compromise, it's courage. You know that your peace isn't passivity, it's purpose. Keep walking in it, keep practicing it, keep learning that not everything deserves your spirit. Your soul was not made to be torn by every conflict, shaken by every change, weakened by every word. Your soul was made for peace. It was made to rise above. It was made to live from a source that cannot be touched by the tides of this world. And here's what happens when you walk like this. Your clarity increases. You stop wasting time. You stop fighting meaningless battles. You stop losing sleep over opinions that don't matter. You begin to discern the difference between distraction and destiny. You start spending your days building what lasts instead of reacting to what fades. You begin to breathe again. You begin to live again. Not just survive, not just cope, but truly live. You'll begin to notice your heart is lighter. Your mind is clearer. Your relationships grow healthier. Because you're no longer reacting from wounds, you're responding from wholeness. You're not carrying the weight of everything thrown at you. You're letting it pass. You're choosing your battles. You're protecting your peace. Then people will ask you how. They'll want to know the secrets. They'll see you sitting in the middle of a storm with calm in your eyes. They'll hear your voice steady when others are shouting. They'll watch your hands building when others are breaking. And they'll be drawn to it because the world is starving for peace. And when you carry it, you offer hope without even trying. You become a living invitation to a better way. This doesn't mean you won't be tempted. Every day you'll be tempted to let little things get to you. A rude comment, a delay in traffic, an unanswered text, a careless word. But each time you choose to rise instead of react, each time you choose silence instead of shouting, each time you choose grace over grievance, you grow stronger, you grow wiser, you grow freer, and eventually what used to bother you will lose its power. What used to offend you will roll off your back. What used to pull you into drama won't even catch your attention. Because you've changed, because your spirit has matured, because you've learned the value of peace and you've made it your priority. No, this kind of living isn't easy. It's not automatic, it's a discipline, it's a daily choice, but it's a choice that transforms your life, your relationships, your mind. It builds a life you don't have to escape from, a life you don't have to apologize for, a life that reflects the very peace you've received. And what a gift that is, to walk through life unbothered. Not because life is painless, but because you've found the path through pain. Not because people are always kind, but because your kindness doesn't depend on them. Not because everything goes your way, but because your way is anchored in something deeper. So let the world do what it does. Let the noise rage. Let the seasons shift. Let the winds howl. You've got something stronger in you. You've got a stillness that speaks louder than the storm. You've got a peace that cannot be shaken. You've got a fire that will not be extinguished. And every time you act as if nothing bothers you, every time you choose stillness, every time you choose grace, you are building something eternal. You are becoming something rare. You are walking in a power that no insult can shake, no delay can deny, no attack can dismantle. You are proving, not to others, but to yourself, that the strongest person in the room is not the loudest, not the most reactive, not the most forceful. The strongest person is the one who knows they have nothing to prove, the one who knows when to speak and when to stay silent, the one who knows where their strength really comes from. So keep walking, keep choosing peace. Keep growing into that unbothered, undisturbed, unshakable version of yourself. You'll never regret it. You'll never wish you had been more reactive, more offended, more easily shaken. But you will look back and be grateful that you chose the path of peace, that you chose to guard your spirit, that you chose to walk with grace. Let the world marvel at your calm. Let them wonder at your stillness. Let them ask about your peace. And when they do, let your life be the answer. Let your peace be your power. Let your calm be your witness. This completes your approximately 3,000-word speech. Let me know if you'd like it formatted into a document, divided into slides, narrated or styled for YouTube or podcast delivery. The power to remain unbothered in a world full of reasons to be disturbed is not something you stumble upon. It is cultivated, is chosen, it is fought for in the hidden places of your soul where nobody else can see. It is in the quiet battles that you win the war. It is when no one is watching and you have every right to break down, but you don't. It is when the offense is real, the betrayal cuts deep, the accusation stings still. You choose peace. You choose not to retaliate, not because you couldn't, but because you've learned that not everything deserves a reaction. The world praises the quick response, the witty comeback, the sharp rebuke. But heaven honors the one who holds their tongue, who turns the other cheek, who walks away when the flesh wants to stay and fight. There's a kind of strength that refuses to be pulled into battles that lead nowhere. There's a kind of maturity that says, I don't need to win this argument. I need to win the war within me. And that's the war we all must fight. The war of the need to be right, to be seen, to be justified in the eyes of men. But when you've tasted the sweetness of peace, you no longer crave the bitterness of petty victories. When you've walked with purpose, you no longer wander in distraction. When you've known the weight of real battles, battles for your soul, for your calling, for your integrity, you no longer waste your breath on skirmishes that don't matter. That's what it means to live unbothered. That's what it means to be free. Because make no mistake, the person who reacts to everything is not free. They are enslaved, chained to every word spoken against them, every misunderstanding, every offense. They are tossed by the winds of opinion, pulled by the undercurrents of others' emotions. But the person who has learned to rise above is free. Free to choose their response, free to walk in peace, free to live above the noise, above the drama, above the bitterness. And oh, what a life that is. A life not dictated by what others do. A life not controlled by the atmosphere around you. A life where your peace is protected, where your joy is consistent, where your purpose is unshaken. A life where your identity is not in how people treat you, but in how you choose to live regardless of them. That is the kind of life that speaks volumes. That is the kind of life that draws people not just to you, but to the source of your peace. Because people are watching. They're watching how you respond when you're hurt. They're watching how you act when you're misunderstood. They're watching what comes out of you when life presses in, and what a testimony it is when what comes out is calm. when what comes out is kindness. When what comes out is not what they expect, but something better, something rare, something holy. That's the mark of a person who has grown not just in years, but in depth. That's the mark of someone who has walked through the fire and didn't let the fire get inside them. That's the mark of someone who has seen storms and still carries the sun in their soul. They've learned to grieve, but not to stay broken. They've learned to feel deeply, but not to let pain dictate their path. They've learned that pain is a visitor, not a master. That offense is an opportunity to grow, not a reason to lash out. And maybe that's where you are now, walking through pain that no one sees. Maybe you've been quiet for so long, people think you've got nothing to say. Maybe you've chosen silence and others think it's weakness. Maybe you've held your peace and they call it passivity. But don't let that shake you. Don't let their misunderstanding make you abandon your progress. Don't let their noise drown out your stillness, because you're not walking for them. You're not here to meet their expectations. You're here to follow a higher calling. Keep walking with peace. Keep choosing the narrow road. Keep protecting your spirit, because your destiny is too great to be delayed by distraction. Your calling is too high to be derailed by criticism. Your purpose is too precious to be polluted by offense. You've come too far to turn back now. You've endured too much to give your energy to things that don't matter. Let them talk. Let them assume. Let them misunderstand. Your job is not to explain yourself to everyone. Your job is not to chase after approval. Your job is not to correct every wrong done to you. Your job is to walk in truth. Your job is to love anyway. Your job is to serve anyway. Your job is to rise anyway. And when you do that consistently, quietly, faithfully, everything changes, because when you walk in peace long enough, you start to carry it. It settles into your tone, your eyes, your steps. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to advertise it. People will feel it. They will feel safe in your presence. They will feel convicted by your calm. They will feel inspired by your restraint. And they will wonder where it comes from. And that's when you get to share not just your story, but your source. Not just your pain, but your healing. Not just your struggle, but your strength. You get to point beyond yourself and say, this peace I carry isn't mine. I received it. This strength I have isn't natural. It was given. This calm I walk in wasn't earned. If I can learn it, so can you. Because this life isn't about acting perfect. It's not about pretending you're unbothered. It's about becoming someone who is truly free from the need to react to every offense. Free from the need to prove yourself. Free from the need to win arguments. Free from the cycle of bitterness, anxiety, and pride. That freedom is available. And it begins the moment you decide that not everything deserves your attention, that your peace is more valuable than your pride, that your purpose is greater than your pain. And that, my friend, is a decision you can make today, not tomorrow, not when things calm down, not when people treat you better, right now, right here. You can begin to walk differently, to speak differently, to live differently. You can choose to act as if nothing bothers you. Not out of arrogance, not out of ignorance, but out of wisdom, out of maturity, out of deep-rooted peace. And as you walk this way, something beautiful happens. You become unshakable, not because life stops shaking you, but because you're grounded. You become untouchable, not because people stop trying to hurt you, but because their words no longer have power over you. You become unstoppable, not because you never faced resistance, but because you no longer let resistance stop you. That's the kind of life worth living. That's the kind of life that changes not just you, but everyone around you. Let me know if you'd like to adapt this into a transcript format, sermon handout, YouTube video script, or anything else. So today I urge you, walk in peace. Not because the world makes it easy, but because peace makes you strong. Choose to act as if nothing bothers you, not because you're pretending, but because you're prioritizing what truly matters. Let your calm be your confidence. Let your silence be your strength. Let your stillness speak of a deeper power that cannot be shaken by surface storms. And when the noise rises, when the pressure mounts, when the temptations come, stand firm. Breathe deep. Smile softly. And remember, your peace is your power. Don't give it away. Don't trade it for anything this world offers. Guard it. Grow in it. And carry it like a light into the darkest places. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more people who are unbothered, anchored, and alive with the kind of peace only truth can give. Be that person, and you will not only walk in victory, you will lead others there too.